Hello my friends, and welcome to this video tutorial where I'm going to show you how to build a landing page for your SaaS in WordPress. Now, this is an example SaaS that we're going to be working with, and this SaaS makes $4,000 per month. That is, this SaaS has a monthly recurring revenue of $4,000. And I'm going to show you how to build this SaaS really quickly, this landing page rather, really quickly using WordPress. So this is the landing page, and this is what I built with WordPress. So let me quickly scroll down. You see we have this hero section, and then we have this video that is featured here, which I hosted on YouTube. And let's keep going down. You see all the features of the SaaS, everything displayed very nicely. So that's about it. And we're going to also have a pricing table, which we can easily customize. As you can see, we customize this pricing table really nicely as well. Then we now have a footer section that contains all of our relevant links. Also, at the top of the page, we have the menu items which are synced to the different aspects of the page. So for example, the features will take you to the website features. The pricing will take you to the pricing section of the page as well. Now, it's a landing page and it's a one-page website, which is most likely what you would like for a landing page for your SaaS. However, you can still create multiple pages, as many pages as you want. Also, we also are going to be able to create a blog, and the blog will help us to increase our search engine optimization, because in WordPress blogs are highly search engine optimized. So this is what we're going to be able to build in this project. All right, it's a landing page for any SaaS business. Now, one of the problems people have with WordPress is that they say it's not fast because it's built on top of PHP. But here I'm going to show you how you're going to make your website as fast as possible. In fact, this website loads in less than 1 second. So I did a speed test, and as you can see, this is 338 milliseconds, which is less than 1 second. I did another speed test with Pingdom, with GT metrics, and as you can see, this is also less than 1 second. So your site is going to be incredibly fast. Now, before we get started, let me show you the difference between building your SaaS landing page on WordPress as against building on any other platform. Now, if you were to use another page builder, most likely for you to get like reasonable features, you're going to have to pay $29 per month. And to even get better features or even more bandwidth, you're going to have to pay more than $29 up to $49 per month as your SaaS starts to grow. But with WordPress, you can actually get started by just paying a hosting cost of $12. Now, I'm not saying it cannot increase depending on how many websites you have, but you can start paying just $12 and you're going to have your site up and running. I mean $12 per month. Now, with other SaaS platform, you get to pay $29 for each website you have. But with WordPress, with just $12, you can have as many websites on your plan as long as it can take and it can contain those number of websites in terms of the bandwidth and their CPU usage. Most other page builders, you're not going to get a good blog. So you're going to have to pay like another SaaS that has a blog, you know, and most likely their plans or their reasonable plans starts from anywhere around $19 to $29 per month. So that's an extra cost for you. But WordPress comes with a blog out of the box. But the question is the blog SEO optimized? Now, for most other SEO on other page builders, they have basic SEO. But because WordPress has been around for quite a long time, it has a very robust SEO. So you're going to find that you're going to start ranking in Google by just putting the right, settings in your WordPress. Another thing is speed. Yes, most other page builders, you're going to have a fast website depending on, what plan you select. But with WordPress, as you can see, we can have your website set up and it can load in literally 1 second. So WordPress also has speed. Okay, so the next thing is customization. For other page builders, you're going to have basic customization. But like I also said, because WordPress has been in the game for a really long time, there's a whole lot you can do in terms of customizing your website. There's a whole lot of other extra services that you can get for free and have your website customized very fast. So for a landing page, the things you really want is you want it to be fast, you want it to be SEO friendly, and you want to be able to quickly customize and make changes to your landing page for marketing purposes. Now those are the things that WordPress stand out. So I think many people should start considering WordPress, and that's what I'm going to show you how to build a SaaS landing page in this one. So let's get started. Now to get started, I've broken the process into three. The first is hosting, then domain, then design. So really simple processes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get hosting for the project. Now, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please help me subscribe to the channel, help us grow the channel. It encourages us to create more content. And also, if you would like to learn about programming, different kinds of programming with JavaScript, make sure you check out my website, course.zenotrustacademy.com, where I have the best programming courses on the internet. All right, let's get started. So for our hosting, we're going to be using Cloudways because Cloudways is one of the best hosting providers out there that gives you the best value for your money. So I'm going to leave a link in the description on which you're going to get to this page where you can sign up for Cloudways hosting. If you sign up with the link, you're going to get 30% off your hosting bill for the first 4 months. Also, it's important for me to state that at the point where you're signing up, you're not actually going to get billed. You're going to get billed after the month has ended, after you've actually used up resources. So let me just quickly walk through the sign up process. So here I'm just going to add my first name. I'll say Zeno, and then my last name, and then I'll add an email. So I'm just going to add Donald Z. So make sure you add a valid email address, and then I'm just going to select a password. So I'll copy the password I have written somewhere and paste it in. Make sure you have a secure password, and then it's just going to ask you a bit about how what you want to use the hosting for. So I'll just say I'm a digital agency, and then my monthly spend, I'll just say $0 to $50. Now for this promo code, make sure you use Zeno Trust. So I'm just going to say Zeno Trust. And if you use the Zeno Trust as your promo code, so that's ZINOTRUST, you're going to get 30% off your hosting for the first 4 months. And then just agree and then click on start for free. So I'm going to do that now, and it's going to just register me. After you do that, you may need to check your email to verify your email address, and in the next one we're going to log in. So I've created the account and I'm here to log in with that account. So this email, and this is the password, and then I'm just going to click on log in. So I'm logged in right here, and when you log in, the very first thing you want to do is you want to come here, click on this your name or this icon here, and then go to my account. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to set up your payments and addresses. All right, because if you do not set up your payment and addresses, your account is not going to be verified. So first off, you're just going to make sure you enter your address. So I'm just going to quickly enter mine. So I quickly enter the first address, which is supposed to be the card address. Then I'm going to scroll down, and it's going to tell me to enter my billing address. So what I'll just do is I'll just say keep billing address same as my credit card address. So I'll click that, and next you're going to need to verify your phone number. So make sure you just enter your phone number and verify it. I'm going to verify mine before I proceed. Now you can see at the bottom of the page here, it says click here to verify. So I'll just click here and give it a couple of seconds. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to send you a verification code to your phone number, and you're just going to have to add that here. So I'm adding my code here. So that's 216, and I think it's 3. Let me just be sure. 381. So I'll just add the code and I'll say verify. And it says my phone number is verified. Of course, it changed the items on the form and all of that, but I'm just going to go ahead and add the items back. So so once you've done that, I'm just going to add a company name. For my company name, I'm just going to say Zeno Trust, and then last but not the least, I'll say proceed to payment gateway. Now basically it's just going to have you add your credit card so that after your billing cycle, after the end of the month, you can be billed and then your hosting will not be interrupted. So I'm just going to say proceed to payment gateway. Now, as you can see here, it has brought me to this place where I just get to add my credit card details and then click on authorize. Now I'm going to pause the video and add my credit card details and then just click on authorize so that I can add my payment for this particular hosting. Now, as you can see, I've added my credit card details. All I just need to do now is to click on authorize, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Voila, so it gives me the message here that it says that thank you for upgrading your account. So what this means is that I can go ahead and use the Cloudways platform anyhow I want to, put my website online. So I'm just going to close that and I'm just going to go back to the home page. Now once you get to the home page, the first thing you want to do is you want to create a server. So here I'm going to click on add server, and it's going to give me the various options. Now because I want to use a simple WordPress server, I'm just going to click on WordPress, and then it's going to ask me to have an application name, because the first application I want to create, it's going to be a SaaS platform. So here I'm just going to say SaaS landing page. So that's what I'm going to call the application. Then the server name, I'll just say WordPress server. And then your project, I'll just say let me just say project name, I'll just say SaaS landing page. So just say SaaS landing page. And you know what, maybe I'll just leave it and just say something like WordPress project. So let me make it generic, say WordPress. And then here I'm gonna stick with DigitalOcean. Now this is where you now get to choose your server size. All right, so as you can see here, we have this server 1 gig, 2 gig, and then it goes up to 192 gig. Now because I'm just starting out, I can actually go with 1 gig, but as you know, you get to add more websites and your website starts to get a lot of traffic, you may want to increase it to 2 gig. And then there are two kinds of server here. This is just the regular SSD, and this one here, which is for example, this one now is for $11, right? It's regular SSD, which is fast, but then this is SSD premium because it has faster cores. So I'll just like to start out with this one for $14, but if I'm in production, I probably would go with 2 gig. So, and then I can have as many websites as I want on that 2 gig. But for now, I'm just going to go with the $14 plan, and then I'll get started with that. Now, the next thing is going to ask you for the location of your server. Now I'm just going to click here and I'll choose Frankfurt, but generally you want to choose somewhere that is close to where most of your customers would be. So there's New York, there's London, and then but I think Frankfurt works for me. So you can see here we have this a message here that says 2 gig is recommended for production websites, 1 gig is for WordPress staging or low traffic websites. Now obviously my SaaS doesn't have much traffic, so I guess I can still go with 1 gig. But if you already have like a large traffic source, I recommend you just go with 2 gig. All right, so let's get started, and I'm just going to come here and say launch now. So once you click on that, it's going to take maybe a couple of minutes and it's going to create your server. Oh, okay, so funny enough, it just created the server right here, and I thought it was going to take some time. So what you want to do is you want to go and say view all servers. Okay, oh really, I thought I just upgraded my account. Okay, I think maybe it has not synced, that's why I'm having this problem. So let me just try and refresh the page. So just by refreshing the page, you see here that it's actually creating my server, and it says it's going to take approximately 7 minutes. So that's actually fine. So I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes. I'll just pause the video and then I'll come back when it's done. All right. Okay, so my server has finished creating. So, but what if you are having a problem with any of these processes? Well, all you just need to do is to click on need a hand, and you're going to see this message here where you can just, send a message. So for example, you just need to select, maybe you need help with adding your credit card, or you need help with setting up your website, so technical help. So just go ahead and select any of that, and then you're going to be on to someone where you can chat with any of their support staff. But for now, I'm not going to chat with them because I don't have any problems. So now that we've done this guy, the next thing we need to do is we need to create an application. I think an application should have been created. So let me come here to the application. Aha. So you see in my application here, we have this SaaS landing page. So now let's go ahead and buy a domain. So for the domain, I'm going to head over to Namecheap. So I will also leave a link in the description for that, so you can easily get there. So this is me on Namecheap, and I'm just going to go to domain and domain name search, and let's go ahead and buy the domain. So here I'm just going to search for a domain. I'll say SaaS landing page, and let me just go with .xyz, and then I'll just click on search. So Namecheap they have really cheap domain names. Okay, I have something in my cart already, so maybe I'll just come here and then I'll just say I want to add this to the cart as well. So it's $2. So I'm going to add this domain to the cart, and then finally I'll just go to my cart. So view cart. So like I said, I already have something in my cart. So for now, I'm just going to remove what I had previously, and then I'll just stay with SaaS landing page.xyz. So it's supposed to go for $2, but I think I can make it a little less than that. Okay, so if you are going for a .com domain, if you use this coupon FCNC, you're going to get a discount if you're going for a .com domain or a .app domain. But I think for this .xyz domain, I need to use a different coupon. So I'll just remove this guy, and I mean, it doesn't hurt to have some discount. So let me just add another coupon here. So I'm just going to add a coupon which is 99 special, and then I'll click on apply, and that should reduce. So I'm just going to pay $1 for this domain. So right now I'll just say confirm order, and then I'm going to scroll down and say that I want to pay with my account funds. So if this is your first time on Namecheap, you probably need to add your credit card or pay with PayPal. But I have some money on my Namecheap account. You can see I have $17. So I'll just say I'll pay with my account funds, and then I'll click on continue. So all right, so it says I should pay now. So I'll just go ahead and click on pay now. Okay, so order processing, and it should be ready just about now. So perfect. So it says thank you for your purchase. So what that means is that I've been able to get the domain name. All right, so what I'll just do is I'll click on manage. So I want to manage that domain, and it's going to bring me to this page. Now what I want to do next is I want to sync this domain to my Cloudways, okay, specifically to this SaaS landing page WordPress installation. So what you need to do is when you're on Cloudways, so for example, if you're on home, you just need to come to view all applications, and it's going to bring you to this page here. So if you click on this guy, it will open up the dashboard where you can manage everything that concerns this installation. Now obviously this installation has a Cloudways subdomain URL. So if you click on this guy, it's going to open in a new tab. So this is the Cloudways subdomain URL, and this is the WordPress installation, right? But what I want is I want to link it to this new page, new domain I just bought. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to come to this point. Okay, I need to close this guy. I don't know. Okay, there's an X here, but it's very faint. So you just need to scroll down, and you need this public IP address. So just copy this public IP address and then come back to Namecheap. If you come back to Namecheap, normally it's going to be Namecheap basic DNS. Just leave it like that, and then come to advanced DNS. So if you come to advanced DNS, we're going to create something called an A record. And the A record is one of the ways you can point your domain to your hosting. So I'll scroll down. Since I'm in advanced DNS, I'll scroll down. I'll delete these 2 records because obviously I'm not going to need them at this point. So I'll click on delete, and then I'm also going to click on delete. Perfect. Now I'm going to add a new record. So here I'll say add new record, and then I want to add an A record. So it says A record here. The host, I'll say the host is @ and then the IP address will now be this IP address I copied. And last but not the least, I'm going to click on save changes. All right, so that is me saving the changes, and in a couple of minutes, like, it doesn't really take time for Cloudways to sync with Namecheap, so maybe in a couple of minutes it should sync and the domain propagation, the DNS propagation should be complete. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add this SaaS landing page .xyz to my to my Cloudways account. So I'll come here and then I'll click on domain management. So click on domain management and click on add domain. So let me just take a step back. So this is me on Cloudways. So if I was in the home page, I would come to view all applications, and then I'll come to the SaaS landing page, and then I'll just come to domain management. So domain management, and then you say add domain. So here I'm just going to say SaaS landing page .xyz, and then I will say save changes. So save changes, and then it's going to add that domain to your WordPress installation. So as you can see here, it says the domain has been added. So what you want to do is you want to make this SaaS landing page .xyz your primary domain. So I'll click on these 3 dots and say make primary, and then it's going to tell me some things, blah blah blah, and then I'll just say set as primary. So give it a couple of seconds and it's going to set that domain as your primary domain. So once you've added the domain, if you try to go to the page, this domain, you're going to get an SSL error. So if I hit enter here, you'll see that it's telling me my connection is not private. That's because we've not installed SSL. So but luckily you just need to come to your Cloudways dashboard and select SSL certificate. If you just do that, you're going to get the option to install Let's Encrypt. So here I'm just going to add an email, then I'll add the domain name. So it's just going to be this domain name. So let me copy it. I'll come back here and paste it in, and then I'm just going to say SaaS landing page .xyz, and then I'll click on install certificate. So install certificate is going to take a couple of minutes, so I'll pause the video and come back. So we've installed Let's Encrypt certificate, and it's going to auto renew by itself. So if I come back here to the domain and I refresh it, you're going to see that we're not going to get that error anymore. So in just these few clicks, we've been able to connect our domain to our Cloudways hosting, and as you can see, this is what we have. So in the next video, we're going to start setting up our website so that it looks like the SaaS landing page. All right. Now to set up our page, we need to come to from Cloudways here. If you go to access details, you're going to get this URL where you can open your WordPress admin. So this link here, if you click on it, it's going to open the WordPress login for the back end. So here you just want to make sure you get the username, which is the email, and then the password. So I'll just copy the password, and then for the username, it's just my email. So Donald Z, and then I'll just slot in the password and click on login. It's going to take a couple of seconds, and yeah, so I'm logged in. So let's just save the password so that we don't have to type it when we want to log in. So first off, let's clean up this page. I'm going to hide this message, and then I'll click on this button here that says screen options, and there are some things I don't need here. So site health, activity, quick draft, WordPress news, welcome. I don't need all of that. I'll just leave this one here and at a glance. So in fact, you can even bring the at a glance here, and then that will just be it. So this is better, right? So the next thing we want to do is we want to come to appearance and we want to click on theme. So theme, and then I'm just going to say add new theme. Now the name of the theme I want to add is called Elementor, and this is it right here, hello Elementor. So just click on install, and it's going to be installed in a jiffy, and then you want to activate it. Now as a rule or best practice, you want to delete the themes you don't need. So for example, this one, I don't need it. I'll just click on theme details, and then I'll click on delete. Just remove what you don't need, okay? So you don't want your server cluttered up. Then I'll also remove this one as well. Okay, so I'll just leave this one for maybe just in case I want to switch. So I have the hello Elementor theme. So if you come here and you refresh your page, you should be able to see that we now have this new look, which doesn't make any sense, but don't worry, we're going to customize it. So we'll come back to the back end, and you want to come to plugins, and I'll click on add new plugins. So for the plugins, definitely I'm going to need in Elementor. So this is it right here. It's asking me to install Elementor. So I'll just say Elementor mentor, and okay, so this is Elementor. You see it has 10 million active installs. It's a very popular page builder. I would install Elementor, and then I'm also going to install there's an Elementor add-on, so essential add-on. Yeah, so essential add-on for Elementor, I would install it as well. It's really nice. Then there's something else I want to do. I think I can't remember right now, but if I do need anything, I'll come back here. Then just for security, I'm going to install Wordpress. So just install and set up Wordpress. So Wordpress, and then just install. So it's going to make sure that your site is secured and everything is fine. So now let's go ahead and activate. So I'm not going to set up the Wordpress now. I'll just go ahead and work on the Elementor. So I'll say I want to activate Elementor and essential add-on for Elementor. So just select both of them, and then click on activate and click on apply. So it's going to install that, and this is Elementor telling me to do some setup, which I'm not interested in. So here we want to go to the pages. So I'll go to the pages, and right now you want to create at least the home page. So here I'll say I don't need this guy now, please leave me alone. So I'll say add new page, and you want to create the home page. So here you're just going to say home. So you want to have a home page. So I'll click on publish, and that's the home page. And then I want to add another page. So let me just go back to the WordPress backend and say add new page again. Now this time I'm going to add a blog page, so blog, and then just click on publish. So those are the two pages that we need, right? So I'll go back to the pages, and then I'll just delete the sample page because we don't need it. All right, so we have these two pages. Perfect. So what you want to do next is you want to go to this appearance, and you want to come to customize. So I'm going to open it in a new tab because I don't want to just close my back end. And since I'm done with this one, I'll just close this one, and I'll close the Cloudways as well, so that we don't have too much page opened. So now here is where you want to start setting up your site. So here I'm just going to say the site identity. Now you don't want the site title to be this, you just want to say this. So this is going to say the most powerful backend for your HTML forms, and this is it right here. Then for the tagline, we're going to just say form endpoint service. Now we need to have a logo and a site icon. So what I'm going to do is I already have a folder that contains all of the assets I need for this particular project. Yes, so I'm going to put a link in the description so that you can have access to that folder. This is what you're going to get, all the assets that we need for this particular project. Okay, so I'll click on select logo, and I want to upload. Now instead of me to actually upload just the logo, I'm going to upload everything that I need for this project, and then so that I can just upload it once. So I'll just drag it, 25 of them, and then I will drop it here. All right, so it's going to take a couple of seconds to upload because they are very tiny files. So you see it's uploading really fast. So let me just wait for it to finish. Okay, so it has finished, but what I need is this logo. So this logo here, and I'll just click on select, and that's it. I'll not crop it. I'll say skip cropping, and it's just going to add the logo here. So That's for the first. And what else do we need? We're going to need the site icon, so I'll click select. Now the dimension of your site icon should be 512 by 512. To be honest with you, I don't have any site icon, so what I just did is I just clicked the logo, I said select, and then I just used this first part of the logo. So if you click on crop image, it's just going to use this part. So if you look here, it's not very clear, but at this top here, okay, yeah, so this is what it's going to look like. You see this key here, this is what it looks like, because I have dark mode on my Chrome browser, that's why you're not seeing it, but this is what it looks like. So now that I've done these two parts, I'll just click on publish, and that's it. So the next thing we want to do is we want to add some sort of menu to the page. So let's actually come here. Sorry, now this is what the menu looks like. This is the finished project. So we have this menu here. So for us to add a menu, I need to come here and click on appearance and menu. So I'll just click on this guy, and then I will create a menu. So once you land on this page, it says menu name, just create a menu. I'm going to call this menu homepage menu, and I will click on create menu. And then we're now going to add stuff to the menu. So pages to the menu. So features, solution, learn, pricing, blog, sign in. So here I'll just, this is the menu right here. So I'll come down here and I'll click on custom links and the URL. So for features now, I'll say hash and I'll say features. That's because I want to link to a section on the page, not an entirely new page. So here I'll also say features, and then I'll say add to menu. Okay, so I'll just keep this one very short. So features, and what else do we have? Solution, learn, pricing, blog. Okay, so features. So let's do this one. I'll just say hash solution, or maybe I'll just say hash really, because I don't have any solutions tab. Solution, add to menu. Let's do another one. Let's just say learn, and then we're going to do pricing. And here we're also going to say pricing. Then lastly, we're going to add the blog page. Now the blog page is actually a page, so you're going to click on pages, and then we're going to add it. Then last but not the least, we're going to add the sign in. So here I'll come back to custom link, and then I'll say hash, and then I'll just say sign in. So here I think I should say hash sign in as well, sign in, and then I'll hit add to menu. So let's go ahead and save this menu. And since we've saved the menu, homepage menu, we can come back to this our customized page, and then we can go back and click on menu. So if you say menu here, because we just created the menu, we need to refresh this page so that it will pick that menu. So once you refresh the page, it picks the menu. So you can come back here to menu, and then you can select homepage menu. So this is it right here, and features, solution, yeah, so this is it right here. And I'll just say I want it to be in the header, right? And then I'll click on publish. So you see we have the menu right here. Perfect. So another thing we can do is, you see this form endpoint, we don't want it here. We don't want this text here, because in the finished project we just have just the logo. So let's remove this form endpoint. So for us to do that, we need to come back to this place, and then we need to say header and footer. So here I'm just going to click on start designing, because with this one we can design the header and the footer. So I'll say start designing, and it should just open that in the new tab. Now here we can now select how we want the header and the footer to be. So basically for this one, we want the color of the links to be black, and then the footer is also really simple. So it just contains this guy and this guy. So perfect. So if you come here, yeah, so you're just going to say hello theme header, and then just select what you want. So site logo is showing. You don't want the tagline to show, so let's hide the tagline. So that's for that. Then you also want to select, you also want to edit the color for the links, and I think so this is layout with content with background. No, I've not seen what I need. Okay, so this is menu. So in the menu here, you can select the color of the menu. So here, if you click this guy, you can just make it dark. So let it just look like what we have before in the finished project, and click on save changes. So once you do that, you can now go back to the footer. So go back and say, so for the footer, we don't want this tagline as well. So I'll just say hello theme footer, and then I'll just hide the tagline, and then I'll save. So those are the things we need to do for the header and the footer. So since we've done that, I think I can close this one, and I think that's about it. So let's see how the site looks right now. So you see, we have this archive, and then we have this post. So we're not done. If you come back here to the customizer, right, you need to go to the homepage settings and make sure that you select your homepage as a static page, and then select it to be home, and then select your blog post page to be blog. Click on publish, and just like that, you set your homepage and your blog page. Now you'll notice that if we refresh this page, you'll notice that in the home page we have this text home. You don't want that as well. You want to remove it. So the way you do that is you come to your back end and you come to theme settings. If you click on theme settings, you're going to see the option to hide that stuff. So I think it's a disable page title. So just click on it and click on save settings. It's going to disable the page title. So I'll come here, I'll refresh this page. Aha, so you see we don't have anything. This is an empty page. So now that we have an empty page, we can now start building out the page with Elementor. So this is what we want to achieve. Let's not go too far. So I'm going to come, I can close the customizer now, I think, and then I'll just come here and click on pages. So pages, and then we want to start editing the home page. Now this home page, I'll click on edit. I'll open it in a new tab so that I still have this backend open here. And then I'll just say edit with Elementor. So if you click that, it's just going to open up Elementor and we can get started. So we're going to start the edit in the next video. All right. So let's start building out the homepage. And first off, we're going to start by building this first section. And I think I should just hold on. Okay. So we're going to start by building out this hero section. So let's come here and we're going to click on this plus icon, and there are two things we can create, either a flexbox or a grid layout. So I'll start with the flexbox, and then I'll just click on this direction, this first one that has just a single column. So when you do that, you can now go ahead and start adding elements. So to add an element, you click on this plus icon, and the first thing we want to do is we want to add a heading, so or a title. So if you bring this title heading and you drop it in here, you see what it looks like. It doesn't look good. So let's go ahead and start editing it. So first off, you see I'll click on this container, the entire container, and let's click on advanced, and we're going to set a padding on the top and bottom. So here I'll click on this link icon to unlink this guy, and then in the top I'll say I want a padding of 80, and on the bottom I want a padding of 80. So it's going to give some space. So now that I've done that, I can now come back to this heading and focus on the heading. Now as far as this heading is concerned, what you want to do is you want to just bring in this text. So this text you see here. So I'm just going to bring this text in, copy this, and then I would come back here and slot it in here like this. All right, so this is what it looks like. Yes, it doesn't look like what we want, but at least we're making progress. So for us to make it look like what we want, I'm going to come to the style, and then I'm just going to select this primary. Okay, so if you click on secondary, you see it has changed the color, and then if you click on this guy, it will center it. All right, but this, we want it to be a bit darker. So what I'll do is I'll click on secondary, and I'll edit this secondary color to make it a bit darker. So click on this guy, and it will just bring you here where you can now edit this secondary color. So as far as the secondary color is concerned, I'll just make it a bit darker. So like that. Aha. And then I'll just click on save changes. So now anywhere I use this secondary color, it's going to be darker. And then for the primary color as well, I want it to be, I want to increase the shade of the blue. I'm not sure which. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'll just use a tool to pick the color. So if let me just see. So I'm just going to pick a blue color on the page. You know what, let me not just waste time on this. So I'll just select any bluish color, something like this. I think this is fine. Okay, and then I think that's about it. So I'll just click on save changes, and yeah, so we have the blue, we have the black. Perfect. Now that you've saved your changes as far as your global color is concerned, you can just click on this X icon and it will just take you back to the page you were editing. So this is what we have here. Next, I'm going to increase the font size of this guy. So I'll click on typography, this pencil icon, and then I'll just increase the font size. How big do I want it to be? Okay, I think it's okay like this. So bring your own HTML. So that's then I'll click on the advanced tab, and then I'll just set the width for this particular H2. I'll set the width to be custom because I don't want it to span from beginning to the end. You see here, it's just somewhere from here to here. So for the width, I'll just select custom, and then I'll just make it like this. Hold on, it's not moving. Okay, so I'll just make it like this, and then I'll center it. So you click on this guy, it's gonna be in the center. Perfect. The last thing we want to do is we want to make this wheel handle the rest. We want to make it blue. So if you come to this guy here, you can add a span tag. So I'll say span. So this is HTML in case maybe you don't know HTML or something like that. So let's have a closing span tag. Right, you just have to follow me. If it's something you don't know, just follow me. I'm not doing anything really complex. So this is it. Now inside this opening tag for the span, I think I should increase the width of my page. So inside this opening tag, I'm going to add a style property. So style, I'll set it to be equal to double quotes, and inside this double quote I'll say color, and I'll set it to be blue. So just by doing that, you see here we now have this guy blue. Perfect. So I'll shrink up this guy back to what it was, and then I'll click on publish. So that's the first section we have there, and I think we should maybe make it a bit bigger because I think it was bigger. So let's just go to the typography and just increase the size a bit. Yeah, I think we can just leave it like this. So that's it for the first section, which is this one. The next is this text. So as far as the text is concerned, we're just going to come back here and we're going to click on this add element button, and then let's go and take this text editor and just drop it below. So I'll just paste that text in, and then I'm going to center it. So how do we center it? Come to style and say center. Then I'll reduce the width. So I'll come to my advanced property, and then I'll select the width. I'll say custom, and then I'll just reduce it to just, yeah. And then let's make sure we center it as well. So that's it. Maybe I should increase it a bit so that it's a bit longer than the other one. Yeah, so that works. So what next do we have on the page? We have this button. So there's the button, two buttons, and then there's this arrow that is pointing down to this video. So what you want to do is you want to come back here and you want to add another container. Now at this point, right, I'm going to publish, and there's a setting I want to do. I want to make this part dark so that it's easy on the eyes. So I think for that you just need to come to, is this settings now? I think it's site settings. I'm not too sure. So site settings, and you want to come to the, hold on, I'm trying to locate it. It's been a while. Is it global colors now? No, it's not global colors. Okay, so I was clicking on the wrong thing. You need to click on this Elementor logo. So if you click on the logo, you're going to see user preference, and then in the user preference somewhere you should see theme. So I think I need to maybe scroll down, and okay, so you see display mode. So if you click on dark, it's going to make this panel dark, and I think that's a lot better on the eyes. So now that I've done that, I can come back here, and what you want to do next is I want to add a container after this guy, because what we want to do is we want to add this 1, 2, 3 elements, and that's going to be inside the container. So I'll come here, I'll drag this container, put it here, Now that we have that, we can now add elements in the container. So first off, I would click on this guy and say I want to add a button. So button, just add a simple button really. So that's the first one. Aha. Now make sure you edit the properties of the button. So this one's going to say try it free. I'll come here and say try it free. So that's what the button says. Then I am going to come to styles, and for the button here, you want to change the background color of the button. So typography is fine, or maybe typography we need to make it a bit bigger. So here, let's just increase this to maybe like 20. Wow. So increase it to 18, and then we're going to, okay, I'm not seeing anything about background color here, so maybe it's in the advanced property. So if you come here, you should see okay, so I'm not actually seeing anything about. So here, if you come back to styles, you should see this green color. So you want to change this green color to the blue color. So let me just click on the blue. Where is blue? Aha. Then I'll just, make it blue. So this is the first button. Okay. Then I think we should add some padding for the button, but you get the gist. So you can just come here and I'm looking for anything about padding. Okay, so for the button, you can just add some padding. So here, I'll just say that for top and bottom, I want to 2, top and bottom 20, or maybe 15. So 15. Then left and right, I'll just say 20, or maybe 25. So here, I'll say left and right 25. Yeah, so this is the button. Yes, now you see this button, I'm going to duplicate it. So I'll just right click here and then I'll say duplicate. Now this second button is going to have a different text. It's going to say show me, and I'll just come and change the text here to show me, and I think it has one guy. Then we're going to change the background color. So if you come to style, you come here, I think it has a grayish background color. Okay, I'm not using the exact color, except I'll have to copy the color from the first project. And okay, let me just copy it. So I'll copy that color and then I'll just paste it in here. So that's the color. Okay, so now that we have that, the last thing we have is the image. So this is actually an image here. So we're just going to slot it in. So I'll come here to add an element, and then I'll just say add an image. So put that down there, and then let's select the image. Now this image here, this is it right here, and I'm just going to select it. Now when you select the image, see, it's a very large image, so you want to reduce the size of the image, and I'll just click on 300 by 300. So that's the first. Then I will I think you can select the image and just reduce the size. You can just reduce the size of the image. So start there. Then now that we've done this, what we need to do next is click on this container, edit container, and then you want to make it flex. So this is column setting, but you want to make it a row setting. So the direction here, I'll just say row, and it's just going to put it 1, 2, 3. So that's it. Then maybe I can shrink this one a bit more. So you see, I'm shrinking it a bit more. Perfect. Now next, I'm going to click back on the edit container, and I'll say that I want to center it. So you see, it's just going to bring everything to the center. Then last but not the least, I can move this image down a bit. So if you click on the image and you click on advanced, and I'll select this one to unlink it, and then for the top, I'll just make it a negative value. Oh, sorry, positive value. So it's just going to bring it down. Yes, so this is what I want. Aha, so perfect. This one is too... Okay, I didn't make this text dark. I need to make this text dark. So the color of the text itself, text color, and then I'm just going to make it dark. Perfect. Okay, So what do we have next? We have the video. Now for this video, it's a YouTube video, so we're just going to add a video, right? And I'll come here and then I will just say add element, and then I'll say I want to add a video. So this is it right here. Just put it below. Oh no, I want to put it below this guy. Okay, so it's not dropping. Let me try it again. Okay, so what I'll just do is I'll just have to add another container. So let me just add another container here, and it's not even responding. So I've added the container here. Maybe I'll just take this one up. Aha. So I'll take this one up. So I have a container here. Now it's in this lower container that I'll now add the video. So here I'll just say video and drop it here. So it's just going to be a YouTube video, right? But I want to shrink the size of the video player. So just click on this video itself and then come to the advanced tab and give it a custom width, and then just select the width you want, and then don't forget to center it. So it's a lot better like this. Now all you need to do now is to just add the URL for the video. So for example, I already have a URL somewhere, so I'll just add that, but I'm just showing you that you can just come here and add the link to the YouTube video. So I think for now I'm just going to leave this one so that we just save a little bit of time, and then I'll publish. So now that I've published, let's see what we've done so far. So I will come here to this page and then I'll refresh the page to see what we've done. So you see, very fast, and we've started building out the page. So here, this is what we've done so far. So good. Now let's continue by building out the next section, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think it's part of the same section. Yeah, I think it's part of the same section. So here, I'm just going to come here and add another container. So here, page builder. Okay. So I'm just going to add another container. So here, container, I'll drop it at the bottom here. Aha, perfect. And we're going to add an icon list. So for that, I'll click on add elements and I will say icon. So you need an icon list and just drop it here. Now this icon list actually has 3 items in it, but what we need is just 1 item. So I'll just remove 1, 2. Okay, then I'm going to get the text for this first one. So copy that and then just come here and paste it in. So if you click here, you can just change the text. Then as far as this icon is concerned, I also want to change the icon. So I'll say check this one, check circle, and then I'll insert it. So then we're going to come to the styles and then let's just make the text bold. So if you come to the text, you can say that hold on, this is text, the typography rather. So if you come to the typography, you can set the width to 600 semi-bold, so that's fine. And that's it. So what do we have? Let me look at what we have first. So it's kind of the same height with this one, or sorry, the same width with the video. So you want it to be actually the same width. The way it is now, it's not the same width. So here I'm just going to select this guy and go to advanced, and then I'll select the width to be custom, and then I'll just make it maybe the same width with this guy. Let's make sure we center it. Aha, perfect. So if you stretch it out a bit, yeah, so this is it, this works. So what you want to do now is you want to click on this guy, that's the edit container, and okay, you want to make sure that you have it set to the row to horizontal. Then you also want to make sure that you do something here with the justify content. I'll say justify content space between. So space between, I think that's what I did, or space around. Okay, space around is what I did. So here, if you now come inside this icon list, all you just need to do is to right click on it and then duplicate it 4 times. So 1, 2, and 1 more time, duplicate. So now that we've done that, right, we just want to change the content of the icons. So I think, hold on. Okay, so let's just do back and forth. So here I'll just come here, copy this guy, I'll come here, slot it in here like this. So change the text, so that's one. Then let's do for the next one, which is front end validation. Copy this guy and come back here. Let's edit this one and slot it in. Then last but not the least, we're going to copy the HIPAA compliance, and then I'll come here and I'll also slot it in. So perfect. So slot that in and then make sure you publish. So we're almost done with the, okay, I think I can say we're done with the like hero section. So what we're going to do next is we're going to build out this next section that will show us the clients that are using the application. All right, I'll see you in that video. All right, so now let's start building this customer list section or customer logo section. So to do that, we're going to create a new container, and so I'll just create this container. It's going to be a single container. Let's add some padding. So if you click on this guy here and you come to the advanced, you can add some padding to the top and bottom. So let's do like before 80 and then 80 as well. Then this time we're going to give this container a background. So I think it will be in the style here. So background. So this background here, you click on classic and then you click on color. Now I'm going to use the color of hash F8. So this is the color we used. Now what do we have first? So we have this text. I'll copy the text and then I'll just come and drop an element here, and that element is going to be the text editor. So drop it inside here and then just paste your text in there. Now this text editor, we need to center it. So if you come here to the styles, you can click on center and it will just center it. And then we need to make it the text a bit bold. So if you come here, you see, if you come here, you see that the text is a bit bigger than, normal. So if you come back here, we are going to set typography and we're going to set the size of the text to be a bit bigger. Okay. And then maybe the color as well. So maybe 20 is fine. Then the color of the text, hold on. Okay, so text color, maybe I'll just make it dark, just a bit darker. So perfect. Then next, what do we have? We have the logo, this logo. So for the logo, we're going to add a grid inside this one. So if you click on this guy, add elements, you can drag this grid and put it at the bottom. Now, when you put a grid like this, you can come here and select how many columns you want the grid to have. So in this case, I want it to have 5 columns and 1 row. So you see it's 2 rows. If you select 1, it's just going to be 1 row. So now that you've done that, you can now come here and say you want to add another element, and that's just going to be an image. So if you put this image here, meanwhile in the grid, that's this grid settings here, click on it. I'm going to come down here and make sure that I click center and center as well. So now that you've done that, you can click here and say that you want to add an image. So what's the image? The first one is this logo. I can't find it too. Okay, let me just type it, hopping. Okay, so the logo is not here. So apparently maybe it was not in the initial elements I uploaded. So let me just bring it in since it's not found here. So hopping. Okay, I didn't add it to the original 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to bring everything and drop it, and then I'll also add it to the original this thing. So I'm not sure why. Hold on, let me just refresh this page. So aha, perfect. So you see, this is the logo I need. So I'll select it and this is it right here. So basically all we just need to do is to we just need to duplicate this whole entire thing. So if I click right click and I click on duplicate, it's going to create another page here. Now this second one is going to be Ned Wallet. So here I'll say Ned Wallet and then I'll select it. Then I can right click and duplicate again. Then the next one is going to be not exactly sure. So I think that's Burger King. So I'll just select and I'll just choose the Burger King, insert it, and I think this one was a bit bigger, so we need to shrink the size of this one a bit. I can't remember exactly how I shrinked it, but let me maybe make it 300. No, that doesn't work. Then I think it has to be the style, and I'm just gonna give it a custom width. So let's just shrink it a bit. Yeah, then let's duplicate this one. So I'll just say duplicate, and then I will just put the next one, which is this one, and I think this works. Then let's duplicate again, and then we're just going to put this one, which is the last one. Yeah, perfect. So we have our logo all set up all nicely, and we can just go ahead and publish, and then let's just refresh this page to see if it does reflect. Okay, so we have it nicely displayed here. So in the next video, we're going to build out the next section, which is this supercharge your form, blah blah blah. Yeah, we're going to do that in the next video. All right, so let's go ahead and create another container, which is just going to be a single container. We're going to add some padding rather on the top and bottom. So if you click here to disconnect it, and then you're just going to see add padding of 80 on the top and on the bottom 80 as well. Now when you do that, the next thing you want to do is to start adding the elements. So if you click on this plus icon, you are going to start by adding a text editor. So add the text editor. The text here is going to say JavaScript. So you just copy the JavaScript and slot it in here like so. And then you want to do some edits. So if you go to style, make sure you center it and make sure you change the color to, okay, I think we can use our primary color, and then for this one we can just increase the font size, and I think this works. Yeah, I think that works. Then next we're going to add a heading. I'm not sure, is it a heading I added? It's a heading. Perfect. So I will come to my elements, and then I'll just drag the heading and drop it in here. The heading is going to say supercharge, so copy this text and drop it inside of this heading here. Now of course you don't want to leave it like this, so you want to come to style, you want to make sure it's centered, you want to make sure the color is set to your secondary color, and you also want to increase the font, so typography, and increase the font a bit. I think this works. This works. Now but also you want to shrink it up, show the width of the heading. So if you come to advanced, you make sure you select a custom width, and then just make sure you shrink it up a bit. So yeah, that's fine, and then center it. So I think this works. Maybe make it a bit smaller. I think this works. All right, so now that we've done that, we can now go ahead and add the next section, which is this 1, 2, 3 section. Now for this section, we're going to add a grid inside of this container. So just click on the plus icon and then bring in a grid. The grid is going to have 3 columns. So here I'm just going to make sure that it's 3 columns and 1 row. So 1, 2, 3. Now inside of each grid, we want to add an icon list. So I'm just going to say icon box rather. So put the icon box there. And this is what it looks like. Now you want to change the icon, obviously. So for this icon, I'm going to say, hold on, let me just make sure. Okay, so I'm going to say icon library, and the name of the icon is compr. Okay, so it's this one, compressed something, I don't know what that is. So make sure you select that. Then you want to change the heading as well. So let's start by copying this text and then slotting it here. So that's one. Then last but not the least, the description, and then also let's slot it here. Okay, perfect. Now but it doesn't look like what we have. So you see here we have this we have a bit of background. So what you need to do is you need to select this guy and go to styling. So if you go to styling, you So first of all, I'll start with the box itself. I can't see any background here, so I'll close the box and then I'll select the icon. Now the icon, I want the size to be a bit smaller, so I think it's okay like this. Then the last is the content. Now the title is dark, it's not blue, so let's just make it dark. No, that's too dark. Let's just make it, sorry, that's too, excuse me, Control Z. I'm interested in the color, so I'm interested in the color. I want to make it this one is too dark too, so maybe I'll just use something lighter. Okay, I think I'll just leave it like this to save time. All right, then I'm going to add a bit of padding around it. So padding, let me just say 20 around it. And then last but not the least, I'll add a bit of a background color. So that's going to come, I'm not even seeing where that's supposed to come. Hold on, I'll find it. Background color, I'm sure some of you can see it. It's just me that is looking it. Can't see it. Okay, so I found background. So for the background, you want to set it, you want to click on this classic and you want to set a color, and I think it's just F8. So hash F8 F8. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, so let me see. I think this works, except that we're going to increase the size of the text a bit. So for the text, let's select this guy, come to style, come to content, and then for this is the title. So where's the description? I'll just increase the size of the description a bit. So this works. So perfect. Now all we just need to do is to right click and duplicate. So I'll duplicate the first one and just change a few things. So let me duplicate it twice. So here we're just going to say small but powerful and put that in there. Okay, then here we're just going to say AWS CloudFront CDN. I'll just copy that and put that in there as well. Perfect. Then, well, just to fulfill all righteousness, let me change the icon. So this is going to be a dumbbell, and this is going to be a cloud icon really. So I'll just say cloud and just choose any one. Which one did I use? Can't remember which one I used though. Okay, I used this one. So perfect. So go ahead and save, and then come here, refresh your page to see your changes. Okay, so now we have this guy here. So what do we have next? We have the list of the frameworks. So we're going to just do that in the next video. So let's build out this next section, which is the frameworks and platform section. And I think it will be a bit faster because we've already done some part of the component. So all I just need to do is to select this component, right click and duplicate it. And if you scroll down, you see the same component. So what you want to do now is you want to edit the components. So I'll change this to frameworks, and then I'll just copy this heading as well. I'll come back here, select this heading, and then replace it. Okay, so next I think I want to remove this one. So I'll right click this one and click on delete. Then I'll now bring in another element, which is just going to be our grid. So put the grid here and make sure you select the grid very well. You want to make sure that it has how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 sorry 5 columns. So come back here, make sure you come down and say you want 5 columns and 2 rows. Then make sure you add some space between each of the columns and the rows. And I think maybe for the columns I'll say 20, and for the rows I'll say 40. Okay, just unlink it and say 40 so that there is some space between the guys. Then you're going to add an image. So add element and look for the image, drop it here. Now this image is just going to be, there are so many images, so astro, So I'll just come here and say select, choose image, and then I'll just look for Astro, which is somewhere here, and make sure you select it. Okay, so that's Astro. One thing you can do is you can add some padding around it. So for example, if you come here, you go to maybe the advanced layout, or sorry, the advanced properties, padding. You don't even need to unlink it, just maybe do 20 padding of 20 pixels so that there's a little bit of space around it. Then if you want to take things a step further, you can add like some background. So if you come here, you come to background, you can just add maybe like that gray color. So if you come here, you can see hash F8. So this is F8, F8, F8. So you can add like a gray background around it. Yes. So this makes it look a lot better. So now what we just need to do is to right click and duplicate a number of times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and it's just going to come to the next line. So just duplicate it up to the number of times that we have yeah. So all you just need to do now is to just select each one and then replace the image. So this one is going to be views, select. This one is going to be React. Where is React? This is React. This one is going to be what? Angular. So I told you that this one will be a lot faster because we already have like the structure of what we're trying to do. This one is going to be Svelte. And then this one is going to be Next.js. This one is going to be Gatsby or Gatsby. So where's G? So this is it. Then the next one is going to be, I'm not sure I uploaded the next one, or maybe that's why. It's going to be Framer Motion. Okay, I have it. I uploaded it. Framer. This one is going to be Wix. So anything that has W, can't find it. So Wix. Then the last one is going to be WordPress. So you can use this service with all these platforms, all this framework. So let's look for WordPress. Perfect. So now we can go ahead and save or publish, and then let's see what it looks like. So refresh. Perfect. So if you come down here, this is what it looks like, and I think this actually works. The only thing is I may add a little bit of space between this text and the logos, but it's okay. Really, it's okay. So if you want to do that, you just need to come here and go to advanced and just add a little bit of margin on the bottom. So make sure you unlink it and just say 20 or maybe 30. Just add a little bit of space, and that's it. Go ahead and save again. So what do we have next? We have this client management, blah blah blah. This is actually straightforward, so we can just do that in the next video. Okay, so let's build out this one, which is going to be really straightforward. So I'll come here and I think, okay, fine, let me just use this one. So I'll right click and duplicate. So we have that here. Now we're not going to need a lot of this one, so I'll just remove this. I'll also remove this, so delete. And then for this one, we're going to so we're going to give it a background. So I'll just come here, select this guy, and then I'll come to advanced and come to, okay, maybe not advanced, maybe yes, so maybe styles, and then I'll just select the background color. This time I'll just say hash, just something dark. Okay, I think this works. Then what do we have in there? So we have client management. So I'll take the client management and I'll replace it here, client management. And then next we're going to have some text. So the text is going to be so add elements, and then I'll just add my text editor, add the text editor and grab the text. Now the text is going to be bigger in size, so I'll copy that and then I'll come here and slot it in. Then let's just add a little bit of styling. So for the color, I'll make it the color secondary, and then for the typography I'll just make it bigger in size. No, it's too big. Okay, I think this works. Then center it. Then I'll come to advanced and set it to have a custom width so that it's not too long. So let's put it like this, and then let's make sure we center it. I think this works. Then next we need to have the button. Now we already have a button at the top, if you remember. So I'll just right click and copy this button, because in Elementor you can copy elements. So come back here and make sure you just paste the button. So paste. So you're gonna have the button here. Let's center the button. So if you come to styles, you can put the button in the center. And then what does the button say? It says become an affiliate. So go to content, and here I'll just say become an affiliate. Okay, so that's it for this section. So what do we have next? We have this section here. So in I think we should just continue, since so in the next video we're going to add the next section. All right. Okay, so we want to add these emails, this send email section. So I gotta come here and make sure you publish, because I don't think I published. Now it's similar to what we have here. So what I'll do is I'll duplicate this one. So duplicate, control D. So yeah, so duplicate it. Then I'll now drag it down. So just hold it down and then just bring it down. So it's going to appear here. Yeah. Now we don't need this one, so I'll right click and delete it. So we need this too. Okay, so what I'll do is I would come here, copy what we have. So send emails, make sure you slot that in here, and this one is going to say yeah, so copy that and then make sure you replace this one. Yes, so what we have next is we have this image, and then there's this bit of text, descriptive text by the side of it. So what I'll create a new, like, how will I say it? I'll create a new container. I'll put a new container under it. So here I'll just come here and then I'll just say new and then container. Now this container is not going to be the regular one. It's going to have hold on, I'm looking this one. So it has on one side, it's going to have one element and two on the next. So you slot that in. So this is what it looks like. So here we're just going to go and bring an image, drop it in, select the image, and it's going to be this image here. I think it's this one. So select, you see. Then here we're going to have some text. So if you come here, let's copy this text first, and then I'll just come here and look for the element that is text. So text editor, drop it in, and then just, you know, paste that in. So this is the text. Obviously you can edit the text a bit to make it look like what you want. Then what's going to come here is an icon list. So if you look at this finished project, you see that we have 1 2 1 2. So that's 2 icon lists side by side. So I think here, for us to achieve that, we need to bring in a container and drop it inside here. So I'll come, hold on, is it a container or a grid? I think it's a grid. Oh, it's a container, really? Wow. Okay, so we're going to bring in a container inside this one. So I'll come here, I'll drag this container and put it here. Good. Now it's inside this container that I will now come and put another element, which is an icon list. So if you search for icon, you see this icon list, just drop it inside here. Perfect. Now this icon list, we only need 2 items inside. And okay, so let me delete this one and duplicate this one. So basically the first one is going to say conditional logic, Control C. So let's edit this first one and say conditional logic. The second one is going to say pristine reputation. So so let's do pristine reputation. Yeah, so that's it. Now this one here, I'll right click and then I'll duplicate it. Now it's going to be one on top of the other, but if you come and select this entire container and then you come here and set the direction to row, it will put it side by side. Why is it not putting it side by side? What's going on here? Okay, no, I think it's the, but something is wrong here, because me, I don't know. Okay, yeah, so I didn't select the parent container, so to put it side by side. So here you can now come here and edit what is there. So for example, just come here, markdown editor, copy this one, change this one to markdown editor. Then last but not the least, beautiful by default. So just paste that in here and then just save. So publish, and that's it for this one. Now if you look at this one, you discover that we have two of these sections. So this is 1 and this is 2. So obviously you don't need me to do that again. All you just need to do is to just duplicate this section. So just duplicate each section, duplicate this one, right click, duplicate, right click, duplicate, and move it downwards. So we're just going to save a bit of time, and we're just going to move to this features section, so the all features section, and we're going to do that in the next video. So my friends, let's work on the all features section. So I'll just start by copying the all features. Let's come to this place here, and I want to duplicate this one. So duplicate, and I'll just move it downwards to the bottom. So drag it downwards and just drop it here. Aha, perfect. So let's start by changing this to all features, and then also changing the heading. So select the heading and then just put it here. Now inside here we're going to put an element, and we're going to need a grid. So let's put a grid inside here, and the grid is going to have 6, is it 6 or 4? No, it's 4. I'm sorry, 4 columns and 2 rows. All right, now the grid, inside the grid we're going to put the icon box, something called an icon box. So I'll say icon box. So this one, drop it inside here. Now this icon box, let us just do the first one. So we're going to have to save a lot of time here. So here I'm just going to say home, select that and insert, and then the text, the first one is going to say local testing. So let's come here and say local testing, and then the text is going to say this text. So copy that and come here and slot it in as well. So perfect. Now of course the styling is quite different, so we're going to come to style, and we're going to say that we want to the icon, make the icon a bit smaller. Okay, so let's leave it like that. Then we're going to do the text, the content. So the text, we're going to make it dark. So let's just do secondary. Then we're going to reduce the size a bit. So local testing, I think that's fine. Then the description, we're going to, is there anything about the description? We'll just make it a bit darker really. So let's just set the color to something darker. Okay, so that works. Now this it needs to be aligned to the left. So if you come to I think it's the advanced. So first off, I'm going to add a padding on the right. So padding on the right, let's just say 20. That's on this right here. I'll say 20. I can't remember exactly what I said for the padding. Let me just check and be sure. Oh, okay. So I'll say 30, 30, 30, and then I'll just leave the left to not have any padding, right? Then align, is it align self now? Start. I'm not sure exactly what I did here. I want to make everything to be aligned to the this guy here, the left. So let me just take a look at it. Okay, so I think for that you just need to come to the styles. Is the styles, you now say left. Oh, maybe not that, maybe this second one. So alignment left. So you're just going to put it like this. So now that we have this, all we just need to do is to duplicate it. So I'll just duplicate it, and I think Control D is duplicate. Yeah, so just duplicate it a number of times. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So D, Control D. Aha, so we have it a number of times. So right now, all you just need to do, or what you need to do next, is to just select or edit each of the boxes. I'm not going to edit all, I'll just edit some. So let's just do this one, and then I'll just click here. I'll click on the icon, and I think this one is hands. So this hand, yeah, and then it will just say no tampering. So you see how easy it is to just make your edits. And then I'll just take this Ctrl C and then just slot it here. You get the gist. So this is what you just need to do to just edit everything to make sure that, you know, we have the same thing everywhere. So I'm just going to pause the video and edit everything. And we're going to move to the next section. Okay, so I've edited the boxes. I'll just click on publish and I'll refresh my page here just to make sure that I'm making the changes and they're taking effect. Let's refresh. And if you scroll down, you see that we now have all the features. Perfect. Now there's something I'm missing out as I'm building, or maybe I'll just do it at the end, or let me just do it now so that I don't forget. So remember, we have a link at the top, and this link, some of them are supposed to point to different points on the page. So what we can do to make that happen is that, for example, these features, if I click on this guy and go to advanced, in this advanced, if I scroll down, you see the CSS ID. I'll just say features, and it's going to have to tally with what we set when we're creating this link. That's hash features. So it's going to have to set to that name. So that's why I'm putting features here. And then I'll just go ahead and save. Then, okay, I've not done pricing. So what we're going to work on next is the pricing section. So I'll see you in the next one then. All right, so now let's work on the pricing section. So I'll come here. I'll duplicate this one we have here. Right click and duplicate. And then let's just start editing. So we'll start by bringing the pricing plan text, and let's change this one to say pricing plan. And then let's also change the heading, Ctrl C, and then I'll just bring that in here as well. Ctrl V. Aha, so we don't need this one, so I'm just going to right click and delete it. So delete. What we need, however, is we need like another grid that will contain 3 boxes. So here I'm going to bring in an element which is going to be a grid, and it will contain 3 boxes. So 3 columns and 1 row. So that's 3 boxes. Now remember, we installed and activated a plugin called Elementor add-on, essential add-on for Elementor. So that is going to give us something called a pricing table. So if I say pricing table, you see EA. So just drop that pricing table here. Oh, by the way, there's some text about maybe testimonial or something like that. So if you copy that, you can bring that in here. It's going to be this text editor, and then you can just bring in the testimonial. The testimonial needs to be centered, and it needs to be like have a custom width so that it's a bit smaller than the entire width. Okay, then let's make sure we center it. So that's perfect. Now for this one, you see we have startup plan. This is what we want it to look like. Basic plan, try for free, and then standard, enterprise. Perfect. So I'll come here, I'll select this guy, and I'll change this one to basic. So basic plan, and then instead of saying choose plan here, this button here, I will say I'm looking for the text. So yeah, so this is it that says choose plan. I'll say try for free. So that's what's going to say. Okay, so now we have this guy in place. All we just need to do is to duplicate it. So I'll right click, duplicate 1 and duplicate 2. Now I want this middle plan to stand out. So it's going to be standard, and it's going to have a number of things. So featured, blah, blah, blah. So come here, we select this middle plan, and we're going to change this to standard, or definitely not this standard. So standard, and then I'm going to come to the settings. Hold on, I think there's something else I need to do. Ribbon. So we're going to click on ribbon in the content, select yes, and then I will select style 3, maybe style 4 rather, style 4. So it's going to add that featured. Then I'll go to the style, and I need to select the button. So let's select the color for the button. So instead of green, we're going to select something like this. Yes, perfect. Then the last one, we're just going to change it to, is it, what did I even say? Is it Pro? Enterprise. So let's just change this last one to say Enterprise. Perfect. So that's our pricing table. Very fast and very easy. Now obviously I don't have anywhere I'm linking to. If I did, I'll just come to my button, and then I'll just add a link to the button, so it will go to like a plan or something. So but if you come here, you see that that's basically what we need for our table, and that's what we've done here so far. So now I'm just going to go ahead and publish these changes, and if we come here to refresh the page, we should be able to see the new pricing table. So if you scroll down, you see we have our pricing table here, which works. Okay, so in the next video, we're just going to add these 2 sections to this one, and then we're going to add this one as well. All right, I'll see you in the next one then. All right, so let's go ahead and build the last 2 sections for the project. So we're going to start by doing this one. It's very straightforward. So what I'll just do is I'm thinking if I should duplicate this one. So let me just duplicate this one. Right click, duplicate, and then I'll just drag this one down. Just drag it down after the pricing section. Yes, so just drop it here because it's very similar to what we want to do. So what we need to do first is, you see, this supposed to be, hold on, let me show you something. This is all in one. This is some text. So copy this text and then just come back here. I'll remove this one. So let's remove this one. I'll delete it, and then I'm also going to delete this. Then let's bring in a heading. No, let's save ourselves some time and just duplicate this heading. So right click, duplicate, and then just drag it down. Oh, I don't know why it's not going down. No, hold on, no, let me just, I don't know why it's not going down. No. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll just copy it. Let me delete this one, and then I'll just paste it in here like this. Paste. So now let's just bring this one up. Now what we need to do here is, aside the fact that we're going to change the text, Ctrl Z. Aside the fact that we're going to change this text, right, we need to make this text white. So if you come to the styles of this text, you need to come to the text color and set it to white. Then we're now going to set this background to dark. That's this entire container. So if you come to the styles, then you're going to select the background color and set it to dark. All right, so now this become an affiliate. Then the other thing we need to do in the button is we need to give it an icon. So if you set the icon, you're going to come to icon and say icon library and just select arrow. So we're going to use this forward arrow, insert it, and we're going to put the arrow at the, okay, come to styles, and okay, so button, and where's the arrow thing now? I'm not quite sure. So I want it to be at the other side. So icon position, yes, so that's it. So we'll just put it at the end here, and then we'll just go ahead and save. Then let's just do this last one since we're already here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to have 4 grid section. So come back here and then let's do grid of 4. Let's just do this one, and then I'm just going to come here and make it 4. So we have 4 of that. Maybe I should add a little bit of padding around it. So let's just say padding. top of 50, since it's the last section, 50. Okay, so the first one is going to have a bit of text, so let's just add the text editor, and then I'm just going to copy all of this text. Okay, let's paste it here like this. What am I doing? I didn't copy it. Click copy, and then let's paste it in. Perfect. Then we're going to have also the icons. Okay, so here I'm just going to say add elements, and I'm not sure, I think it's something about social. Yeah, social icons. Perfect. So we're just going to drag it here. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to drop it inside here like this. That's the problem, it's not dropping. Okay, let me save myself some time and just remove it. So remove, delete. I'll just put these links first. So you see these links, I'll just put them in. So copy this one, and so let's do another text. So let's do another text, and here I'm just going to put the first set of links, so this one. Then okay, so let me just duplicate it. Right click, duplicate one, right click, duplicate two. Perfect. So I'll just bring in this second set of links. Okay, let's put them here. Then the last set will now be this one, and then I'm just going to put them here. Okay, so the only problem I'm having now is how to, sorry, is adding the icons here. So let's come back to our elements, and then I'm just going to say social. Excuse me. So let's drop the social here. It's not dropping, no. Not dropping. This thing wants to stress me. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. Aha, I know what the problem is. The problem is that I was supposed to put a container. I used a grid instead of a container. That's the problem. So I'm just going to do it again. I'm sorry for the wasting of time and all of that. So it's just going to be very straightforward. I'll just do like this, and then I'll use a container with 1, 2, 3, 4 items. Yeah, that's what I was supposed to do. So let's first add some padding here. So come to advanced, uncheck this one to unlink it, make it 50 on the top and 50 on the bottom. Then in this one now, this first box, I'm just going to just be dropping the elements inside. So you see, it's not even going to waste too much time. Then let me just type social here, social, and I think now you can see I can drop it at the bottom. So this is the social links. So if you want to make it to be start from the so let me see, I think I'll just leave it like this. It's actually fine like this. Then we'll just bring in these other ones to the bottom, so just drop it here, then drop this one here, then lastly drop this one here. So you see, it didn't take much time, so I'll just delete this one. Aha, perfect. If there's any other thing, then I think it's just to maybe make this one exactly like it is in the original project. So it's supposed to be aligned to this point here. Let's come to container, and let's say columns alignment. Okay, so this alignment. So if you go ahead and publish, and let's come here and refresh. Okay, so let's just take it from the top and see what we've been able to do so far. So I'm just going to keep scrolling down. Voila, scrolling down. Aha, perfect. So just like that, we've been able to build a landing page for our SaaS in less than 2 hours, or so. I don't know, I'm not sure, but this is how easy it is for you to build like a landing page for your SaaS. And in all of this, we've only spent $14, and that's for hosting. $14 monthly for hosting. Now the good thing is that we can actually add more applications to that our single cloud-based hosting. So let me show you how that works. So let's say you wanted to create another SaaS, because when you start creating SaaS or when you start building SaaS, it's required that you build not just one but a number of SaaS and see which one is going to take or which one is going to be successful. So what you just need to do is you can create multiple applications. So first off, this is me on my dashboard. All I just need to do if I want to build another landing page for another SaaS is just go to view all applications. So this is the view all applications tab. Say I wanted to build something that has to do with maybe an email list, a SaaS that has to do with an email list. I'll just click on create application and then I'll select the server I want. If I want to put it on a separate server, I can click on add server and it will create another server which I will need to pay for. But if I want to put it on this same server, which I can and which is actually fine, I have more than one WordPress site for my clients on the same server, I'll just click on this guy and click on add application, and then I'll just need to select the WordPress and then select the application name. So for example, if I wanted to do a newsletter application or newsletter landing page, so maybe I'll just say newsletter.io, something like that, and then I'll just click on add application and the application will be added to my server in a couple of minutes. So this is how easy it is for you to create an application or create a landing page using WordPress and Cloudways and have multiple landing pages on your single server. So that's about it for this tutorial. If you did enjoy the tutorial, make sure to subscribe to the channel and make sure to give a like or thumbs up on the video. Just do something on the video to support me. All right, thank you so much and I will see you in another video.